let's talk about, well, I didn't realise this was happening to this week. Another coronation for the King and Queen of this country, this time in Scotland. Sarah Hewson is TalkTV's royal editor, who is live for us in Scotland. Good morning to you.
Morning, Julia.
Good morning. Thank you very much indeed. Well, tell us about this, because we've already had the coronation, rather a big affair. Foreign heads of state, everyone arrived. It was all rather lovely and great to watch. Big fuss over republics, people, demonstrating and the like. Are we going through it all again?
Well, in a smaller scale, I guess we are, Julia. This is a mini coronation, or a service, national service of thanksgiving and dedication, as it's known officially, taking place at St Giles Cathedral behind me later on today. And it is a chance for Scotland to mark the reign of the new King and Queen, and a chance for the monarchy to recognise the importance of Scotland, that Charles is the King of the United Kingdom. And so he is going to be presented with the honours of Scotland. They will be brought from Edinburgh Castle, where they're kept, the oldest crown jewels in Britain, to the cathedral here in a people's procession, 100 individuals representing different aspects of life and community here in Scotland, and they'll be presented to the King. He'll receive the Scottish crown, which dates back to 1540, the sceptre and the sword of state. The original sword of state, too fragile to be handled now, and so a new sword of state has been commissioned, and that will be used for the first time. It's known as the Elizabeth sword, going to be named after the late Queen, and going to be carried into the cathedral by Dame Catherine Granger, the Olympic rower. She's taking on the Penny Mordaunt role.
I was just going to say, because so much praise for Penny Mordaunt being able to hold that sword, having been in training, but this time we've got an actual Olympic athlete who perhaps is more prepared for it. Although, to be fair, Penny Mordaunt did a top job there, didn't she?
She did, and I think this sword's even heavier, Julia, but Catherine Granger, no stranger to endurance efforts, is she? So, and she'll be needing those today when she carries that sword in. Whether or not she'll have to hold it for as long as Penny Mordaunt did, we'll have to find out.
I mean that is the thing. I mean, yeah, it's quite a thing. But I mean, all of this pomp and circumstance and ceremony, there's no constitutional requirement for it, is there? But this did happen in 1953 with the Queen, the late Queen, but it has happened before, and this is really all about, let's face it, joining up the constituent parts of the UK, or this independence bid in Scotland. Just a kind of a, look, you're part of the United Kingdom, you're taken seriously by the royal family. This is shoring up support, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's an interesting balance to be struck, isn't it, Julia? Because you've got these symbols of Scottish nationalism, Scotland's own crown jewels, and you've got a backdrop of independence debate here in Scotland, and a monarch who has to rise above politics. But it's all taking place as part of Royal Week, or Holyrood Week. That happens every year when the King takes up residence at the Palace of Holyrood House, their official residence here in Scotland, and carries out a series of engagements. So we've seen garden parties, for example, investitures taking place, lots and lots of visits. And this is the centrepiece taking place this year. As you say, it happened in 1953 for the Queen, and it's happening again. But there is controversy, and we are expecting protests from Republicans here today who call it a pointless vanity parade.
I mean, if it's not constitutionally necessary, it costs a lot of money. A lot of people might argue it is. Sarah Hewson, I know you're going to be busy there all day in Edinburgh. TalkTV's royal editor. Thank you very much indeed for that.